During the pregnancy, there were complications, but I was on the altar of fire. A month after delivery, my son started vomiting blood. I told myself, this is no longer medical, it is spiritual. The next day, on the altar of fire, I was crying. And why? And why? And why? I thank God for the gift of life today. And I would say the best gift God gave me is to be on the altar of fire. Papa, God bless you. I gave birth to my last son, 22nd October. Everything was fine. During the pregnancy, there were complications, but I was on the altar of fire. Words keep coming. And then they queried gestational diabetes. On that fateful day, Papa said, I don't know who God is showing mercy. God is reversing gestational diabetes. Immediately, every symptom disappeared. I got my strength at 7 months. I was okay. I put to bed, no problem. A month after delivery, my son started vomiting blood. Where I had the CS got opened. My husband stepped on something and the whole thing grew up. Everything happening at the same time. We rushed my son to LASUT, Lagos State Teaching Hospital. He was there for 5 days. They did all the tests, everything. They could not find the cause of the blood. We were discharged. The day we came back home, that was when the baby even vomited the main blood. I told myself, this is no longer medical, it is spiritual. The next day, on the altar of fire, I was crying. And why? And why? And why? Few minutes into the prayer, Papa said, I don't know who you are. Your baby is vomiting blood. The devil is a liar. Let it be reversed by fire. I screamed. I ran to the other room. I told my mommy, Papa's mentioned my case, so it is settled. All the drugs they gave me from the hospital, I kept them aside. From that day till now, my son is hale and hearty. Nothing missing, nothing broken. And during that process, even the CS institution was bringing out pus. I kept going back to the hospital for dressing and all of that. The doctor did not know what to do again. During that period, Papa was teaching on Adonijah. And then he said, open wound, seal up. Open wound, seal up. Open wound, seal up. Before you know it, the place began to seal up. It began to seal up. It began to seal up. I did not go back to the hospital again. By first week of December, everything was okay. I'm here to say, God, thank you for what you did for me and my family. The second one, I want to thank God for my first son. A little backstory of what happened. When I gave birth to him in the hospital, there was a little controversy of BCG given to him or not by matron and doctor. The doctor said, you know what? At 6 months, go back and give him the BCG. I said, no problem. At 6 months, I took him to the health center close to my house. He was given the BCG injection again. And that was the journey of negativity in the life of my son. Everything changed. The incision site began to bring up pus. The lymph node was inflamed. He was slim. I cannot even know how to describe him. I started running from one hospital to another. After everything, we were referred to LUT. And we were transferred to infectious disease department. And they said they will place him on tuberculosis drugs. For 6 months, this is a child that is less than a year. 6 months tuberculosis drug with strict instructions. Don't do this, don't put him in crowd, don't go to a place, don't do this one. And I was working. I had to resign at the peak of my career. And after everything, after the whole 6 months, that was when I joined NSPPD because I was at home. I was scrolling to Facebook one morning and I saw Papa praying. I said, this is what I need. I started praying. After the whole 6 months medication, the place was still open. The inflamed lymph node was still there. They were saying, okay, they will do biopsy. I said, no. Papa, I used to hear people say, Papa mentioned my case. and everything was reversed. I said, God, give me my own word. Mention my case. I said, they said, Papa's birthday. That day, it was 5th of August, 2022, on a Monday. Even from Sunday, I was preparing for the birthday. I said, God, give me my own word today. 7 a.m., I've logged in. And few minutes into the prayer, Papa said, God is reversing tuberculosis and HIV. I said, that is my word. Tuberculosis is there. That is for my son. I hold on to it, and everything started changing. From that day on, the incision site began to close, began to seal up. I said, yes, God has started his work. But the lymph node was still there. I kept praying. I was praying. Papa said, shake it off. Every lumps, if cancer of the lymph node, everything, shake off. I will shake his hand. 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 All of a sudden, one morning, I was having his bath. I said, let me even wash your armpits. And he raised up his hand. Lo and behold, it was not there again. The lymph node was no longer there. It did not end there. Oh. It did not end there. Why all these things were going on? My son's speech delay, slow growth and development. He was so isolated. He doesn't mix with other people. He's on his own. He will be in the house, he will be screaming, he will be shouting, just like that. Papa is praying for children on the altar of fire. Slow growth and development, speech delay, ADHD, whatever it is, I keep cleaning. I said it's for my son, no. It is for my son. Meanwhile, after that 6 months, the drugs, I did not go back to the hospital again. They were directing me to one neurological. I said, I'm not going anywhere. I was on the altar of fire. I kept praying. All of a sudden, changes. My son began to speak, began to communicate, began to do things he was not able to do before. He was doing it. Let me shock you. Last academic session, my son was the best mathematics in the school. Papa, God will bless you. God will bless your generation. God will bless your children. If you're a mother, you don't know what it means to have a child that cannot communicate. To have a child that cannot tell you what happened to him or her. You don't understand. But I pray to you for you, Papa. The oil on your head will never run dry. And that is why I say the altar of fire is the best gift God has ever given to me after Jesus Christ. What God cannot do.
NSPPD, celebrate our God.